What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today's topic is going to be on HBAR, but before we jump into HBAR we need to take a look at a few other coins to fully validate where HBAR could be going this week. Now those coins are going to be obviously Bitcoin and also Bitcoin dominance, but we also are going to have to take a look at the S&P index to fully understand where and why HBAR will be heading to this week. Now before we jump into any of that, I just want to ask you guys to all check out the Discord down below, because we're sending out killer trades in there every single day. You can see on the screen right now the amount of trades that are being sent and the amount of wins that we're getting. It's absolutely phenomenal, so make sure you check that out. It'll be the first link in the description. You don't want to miss out on those trades. Now let's go back into Bitcoin. So obviously the chart is quite messy from all the vids that we've been doing on it, but overall it's just been consolidating, which is quite good to see. We bounced from this white area right here, which is essentially the main support area holding Bitcoin, in the 90,000s range. It obviously can dip down below to 89 or even 87,000, but this is the overall area that is going to hold Bitcoin together for the next phase of the bull run. Now luckily for us, we did just have a small tap into this area, and now it looks like we're going to start trending back up. However, the key thing we really need is obviously the 20th of January, which is going to be Trump's inauguration, and then after that it should be quite a smooth sailing ride, proving that there's not going to be any negative news or anything like that. And until then, it's going to be quite uncertain whether, because we bounced into this area right here, whether we can sail smoothly up to 100,000 and up to the next resistance, or whether there needs to be more liquidity created, so we're going to dump actually down and back into that support, and maybe even wick below to around 87,000, clear off all of the longs and potential buy entries that we have placed over here. So that is a very possible scenario. Again, this would be a very quick move if it were to come down to this area, again proving that there is no negative news out, like another world war starting, for example. But yeah, just pure price action, we could see a potential flash dump down to this area. I think that would be a very smart move by the whale traders and the market makers, simply because it will add so much liquidity into the market for them to then buy up the positions and then obviously hold until the inauguration and then ride out the pump. But again, it's really unpredictable how they are going to play it. So even though we have had our entries here, we are also going to have entries at 86,000, and we're going to be watching the charts really closely and sending out up-to-date alerts and any really sort of updates that we have in real time in the Discord server, which is why it's also important for you to check that out. Now again, another key thing is going to be the S&P and Bitcoin dominance. So I'll quickly take a look at the S&P for you guys. Now the S&P has been tumbling slightly over the past week, and really just in 2025 Bitcoin has been quite strong. If we compare obviously the 10th of January to the 12th, here for example, the 10th of January was quite a big red day for the S&P, whereas for Bitcoin it was quite a green day. The correlation isn't fully there just yet. Again, the 20th of January, when Trump comes into office, that isn't going to be a trading day for the US markets, which means all eyes are going to be on crypto, which is another key factor that is going to play into the effects of how the market is going to move. And if all eyes are in crypto, that means more volume is coming into crypto, which could also mean a lot more volatility. Now, so that's what's going to really cause this week to be quite a hectic week. Everyone's going to be sort of preparing for that, and it will be very interesting to see how the market makers are going to play this out. Now Bitcoin dominance is another key driving factor, but this is more so for altcoins like HBAR, which is the topic of this video. Now Bitcoin dominance is primarily the inflow of capital going into Bitcoin compared to altcoins. When Bitcoin dominance is up, it means more money is flowing into Bitcoins and out of altcoins. When Bitcoin dominance is down, it means more money is flowing into altcoins and out of Bitcoin. And obviously you can see how that is going to affect the market. So but if Bitcoin is able to pump and Bitcoin dominance is able to dump, that means that there's quite an even distribution, and that altcoins are going to be really pumping hard, and that's when we have these alt seasons occur. So usually in these huge downtrends, this isn't a huge downtrend by the way, this wasn't an alt season, but this was a dump when altcoins obviously saw a huge pump. But during a longer phase of an alt season, we'll have a huge downtrend emerge, sort of like this uptrend just down. And that will usually cause the alt seasons to occur. Now in order for that to happen, we need obviously on the weekly chart here for Bitcoin dominance to break below the slow and enter that downtrend. Once we break this below the slow, it's going to be a proven downtrend, because we're going to have a lower low and then obviously a lower high. Right now we only have the initial low, a lower high, So now we need that lower low right here. Then we should be good to go and in a downtrend on Bitcoin dominance. Now back to HBAR. Where do I think it's going to be going? Well, again, this week is going to be very, very interesting. The HBAR is in this sort of descending triangle, which proven is usually a continuational pattern. You know, what we usually get is something like this, and then obviously the triangle. Price action will usually move something like this, and then consolidate down into here before seeing another spike up. That's usually how it goes. But is that how it's going to go now? Well, overall, the 0.382 level is a proven support, and it's a good area to dollar cost average in or enter any sort of positions at. You know, this is where we've been entering in at and finding some good trades on here. This is obviously the daily, but even on the 1 hour and 15-minute time frame, you can find some really, really good trades here. Now back to the daily. On the daily chart, what you'd really be looking for is either a breakout. Now, most people would usually track a breakout by, you know, just entering off of the trend line resistance, but that's not really how I do it, and not how I would suggest doing it, because that's usually a low confluence trade, which will usually result in your stop loss being hit. So how I like to do it is, for example, here we have the 0.236 Fibonacci, and this is a proven resistance. We've, you know, resisted price once, twice if we count this, 3 times, 4 times, and multiple times this has been a key resistance area. Proven it's been an area, not an exact line, but this is still our main resistance. So more so what I'd be looking for is a breakout here on the daily above the 0.236, and then we go into a lower time frame like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15-minute, and find a entry point on there. For example, you could look for, you know, here for example, say you're looking for shorts, and here you spotted a fair value gap, then you would place your, you know, short trade on 50% or 100% of the fair value gap fill, stops at the next high, again, you know, take profit at the low and something like that. That would be a lower time frame trade, but that wasn't from, oh yeah, you could have entered that because again we hit this resistance and we're trending down on the higher time frame. So that is your higher time frame narrative. Now, right now, the higher time frame narrative has switched to quite bullish. If you're looking for positions when we are at this support level, then you would again come down into a lower time frame like the 4 hour, the 1 hour. Here you could find a potential order block, like here for example, this was an order block created right here. Then you would enter your position right here at either 100%, 50%, or just a tap of the order block. Again, this would have worked either way. Set your take profits to either, you know, the max high right here or just the minimal high right here, which is already at 10% profit, and I'm tracking this high right there. You would have done that, drawn it out, and you would have secured your profits. That's usually how I like to do it, and it's a proven method and it works very well longer term. You know, you wouldn't be getting necessarily hundreds of these trades a day, but you will definitely find quite a few, and they will be high win rate as well. So that's how I'd be looking to play out on HBAR. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Again, if you want to be getting trades sent to you every single day, then check out the Discord down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.